Welcome to Lecture 3 of Academic English. In this lecture, you will learn how to write your CVs. To begin, you need to understand what a CV is. A CV is an abbreviation for Latin phrase curriculum vitae, which means course of life. The CV is a detailed document that highlights a person's professional and academic history or background. A CV is usually used to impress recruiters when someone intends to apply for a job. In this case, the person will be marketing him or herself and communicate with potential employers, trying to convince them of recruiting or employing him or herself. You may ask, what is the difference between CV and resume? The answer is simple. Resume is mostly used in the United States and Canada when someone applies for a job anywhere other than academia. At the same time, Americans and Canadians use the word CV only when they apply for a job abroad or apply for an academic, including university or college, or research-oriented position. On the other hand, British or Britons, Irish, Australians, and Kiwi, when I say Kiwi, I mean New Zealanders or people from New Zealand, they all use the term CV in all contexts and never use the word resume. When you write your CV, you have to keep it simple, clean, and error-free, because this will make it easier and quicker for the recruiter to find the information they are looking for. Your CV will be easier to read. It will be more interesting and not boring, which in turn will make your application stand out from other CVs that might be muddled and disorganized. A CV should always be tailored to a specific employer and should not be generic. There is no one-size-fits-all rule when writing CVs. Tailoring a CV is about making your most relevant skills, qualifications, and experience appearing prominently for a particular employer. Always keep your CV free of errors, because once a potential recruiter sees or spots any inconsistency, they will not hesitate to throw the CV in the bin and ignore your job application. Examples of inconsistencies include, but are not limited to: A. Missing digits of a phone number. B. Wrong email address extension. C. Different font size and font style. Different line spacing or indents, or even spelling mistakes. You should always keep your CV up to date so that you can apply for any jobs you will be interested in. In this slide, we are describing the details that should be included in your CV or CVs. Simply put, your CV needs to include some personal details, the most important of which is your full name. You may also include your date of birth, age, if you are single, married, divorced, or widowed, nationality, citizenship, and religion. However, if you are not requested to provide any of the aforementioned details, I mean other than your name, then don't. Keep things simple and just put your full name. The CV must have your contact details. These include your full postal address, email address, landline or mobile phone number. The point behind putting these details is to facilitate how a recruiter can or should contact you. The other bit of information you need to put in your CV is your skills that a potential employer will be interested in. For example, if you are applying for a job in a software development company and you are good in programming with C++ or Java, then you must state you have programming skills in these languages or software packages. Something similar holds true if you are applying to work as an architect in some construction company. You will have to highlight your 3D Max or AutoCAD skills. Any employment history should be added to your CV. Don't worry if you haven't got any. This section informs the recruiter that you have previous work experience, again, should you have any. It also tells the recruiter how your past and present work experience or experiences are or might be related to the job position or the vacancy being advertised. When you write your CV, you will need to bring a recruiter's attention to your qualifications that are so relevant to the job or the position being offered. For example, if you apply for a job that states that the applicant should have a university degree in software or perhaps architectural engineering, then you should definitely not waste time and space writing your primary and high school grades. Always be concise, and when I say concise, I mean short, and write only what is important and interesting to the recruiter. If you have any other skills that would improve your profile, then you should write these down. If you have any foreign language skills, when I say foreign language, I mean any other language you are good at, other than your mother language, mother tongue, or perhaps the language requested by the employer. Or if you have an international driving license, for example, then these will be your bonus. Such skills will make you the preferable candidate when applicants are shortlisted. Finally, always remember to keep your CV up to date and modify your CV according to a potential recruiter's preferences and job descriptions. As we reach a conclusion, should you have any questions or queries, do send me an email so I can help you with all the necessary explanations. Thank you.